Caitlin Clark and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and forth.
I'm a fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith just slammed the brakes on Angel Reese's so-called ego storyline, and it's been loud enough to leave a mark. But this isn't some polished Netflix drama with a scripted downfall. Angel made a move that instantly had the internet reacting like, wait, did that really just happen? If you thought basketball drama peaked with clutch shots and buzzer beaters, this takes it to another level. Stephen A. didn't just respond. He went all in, turning the moment into pure fire. So, what's the real story? What did Angel Reese actually do this time? Buckle up.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point.
For points, that's it. Angel Reese finished the game with just 4 points, while still dominating the boards like rebounding is her main assignment and scoring is optional. Even with Caitlin Clark sitting on the bench, iced up and watching like she's in a sports commercial, Angel still couldn't fully take advantage of the moment. She had possession, she had attention, she had opportunity, but the stat line still came out underwhelming for a night where expectations were much higher. If you're waiting to see what happens next in Reese's story, drop a comment below and let's get into it. Let's go.
First of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own.
This performance didn't really come off as I'll prove them wrong, and more like a night where things just didn't click at all. While the broader spotlight still included Caitlin Clark being sidelined yet remaining part of the conversation around the game, Angel Reese's output was so quiet it barely registered in the way people expected. 4 points. That's it. That kind of stat line doesn't really tell a story of dominance. It reads more like an off night where nothing falls, nothing flows, and nothing sticks.
Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive.
She did grab 12 rebounds, no doubt about that. But in this narrative, they're being treated like her main form of production, almost like each board is its own little victory. But when you strip it down, rebounds without scoring don't change the scoreboard. That's where the criticism is coming from. It starts to look less like dominance and more like empty volume, doing one thing well while the other half of the job, putting points up, just isn't there. And that's why people are questioning it. If scoring is supposed to be part of the role, then treating it like an optional add-on naturally raises eyebrows.
Angel Reese, part 38. Let's get it.
Life throws her lemons. She makes bricks.
Bang!
PSA to anyone watching. She is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man.
Bang!
I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan? Bang! Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops.
What? Bang!
It's one of those tough nights where even the broadcast team starts sounding like they're trying to soften the blow. She contributed elsewhere, they say. But elsewhere starts sounding pretty vague when you start asking what that actually means in real production terms. The energy shifts into damage control mode, like they're trying to frame the night in a more positive light than the stat sheet really allows. Meanwhile, the visuals don't help much. She's running up and down the floor, getting cardio in, but not really making the kind of impact people expect when she's on screen. At that point, the commentary starts to feel less like analysis and more like storytelling, trying to find meaning where the box score isn't offering much.
Because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind.
Angel has always carried a lot of confidence, style, presence, and that "I'm here" energy that shows up before she even touches the ball. But that 4-point performance turned into a night people are calling a serious letdown, especially given the expectations and the opportunity in front of her. Instead of a breakout moment, it came off as a game where nothing really clicked offensively, and the production didn't match the spotlight. On the other side, Caitlin Clark, despite facing tight defense, physical pressure, and constant attention, still finds ways to impact games through scoring, passing, and creating offense. That contrast is exactly why the conversation keeps heating up. One player consistently turning attention into production, and the other struggling to convert opportunity into numbers when the stage is set.
Elaborate a little bit more on that in just a second. But before I do that, I want to ask you your thoughts about apparently some racial animus that was thrown in the direction of Angel Reese. The Chicago Sky have gotten involved, talking about they're going to protect their players at all costs. The WNBA has issued a statement saying it abhors and discourages hate of any kind, etc., etc. Your thoughts about it? Here's the WNBA statement. The WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter. Your thoughts about that element of all of this, where you believe it emanates from, and do you think it will ever subside?
The 12 rebounds are being highlighted as clear hustle and activity on the glass, showing she was involved physically and positioning well. But the argument being made here is that rebounds alone don't necessarily translate to full offensive impact on the game. Even if a player is consistently boxing out and collecting boards, the critique is that it doesn't fully balance out a lack of scoring or finishing around the rim. So the focus here is on the gap between strong rebounding numbers and limited overall scoring contribution in that particular performance.
Oh, man, the latter part of that, Stephen A., is quite the thing to think on. I think when you go back to the impetus of the rivalry that we have between Caitlin and Angel Reese, I remember funny clips on the internet.
Other diabolical stat, she's 19 of 59 from less than 5 feet away. How about that, man? Bang! She should work in housekeeping for hotels because she could turn it over quickly. Lost by 27, scored only 4 points against the Indiana Fever. I mentioned no Caitlin Clark, no problem, give and go. Like a given no shot of working. Bang!
You prefer car or plane?
Car or plane for what? For how you want to travel! That's too many steps and you can't do that.
The conversation around Angel Reese has started to get louder, especially after a rough offensive night. While she still managed to collect 12 rebounds, critics argue that rebounding alone doesn't equal full game impact, especially when scoring is limited. The stat line is being portrayed as underwhelming for a player expected to carry more offensive responsibility. The criticism grows harsher when comparing her output to expectations set by her popularity and college reputation. Some argue that despite her confidence and media presence, her recent performances don't match the level of a true star, especially when big opportunities arise. A 4-point game is being used as the symbol of that struggle. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is repeatedly brought into the conversation as the opposite example, someone who, even under pressure or injury, is described as consistently influencing games through scoring, passing, and overall presence. This contrast is fueling debate about who actually impacts the game more. Much of the discussion also focuses on hype versus production. Angel Reese entered the league with major attention, branding, and storylines, but critics argue that attention alone doesn't translate into results on the court. Social media reactions are framed as shifting from excitement to confusion and disappointment. Coaching decisions, rotations, and team performance are also questioned, with some suggesting adjustments may be needed if scoring issues continue. The argument is that in the professional league, effort and personality are not enough without consistent statistical production. Overall, the narrative being pushed is that expectations are rising faster than results, and unless her offensive game improves, the gap between hype and performance will continue to grow.